Right now, someone in your life is playing a game, and you don't even know the rules. They're using a tactic so subtle, so deeply embedded in human nature, that you'll thank them for it while they quietly take what they want. Most people never notice this trick until their career, their relationships, or their self-respect is shattered. 500 years ago, a man named Niccolo Machiavelli warned us about this. He wrote the playbook, and today you're going to learn how to read it. By the end of this video, you will see the world differently. You'll understand exactly how the smartest people control outcomes, not with brute force, but with elegant, invisible strategies. More importantly, you will learn to spot these moves, defend yourself against them, and, if you choose, use them ethically to secure your own position. This isn't about paranoia, it's about clarity. It's about waking up. So who was this Machiavelli? In the turbulent world of 15th century Florence, he was a diplomat and political advisor who saw power for what it truly is, a brutal, relentless game. He wrote The Prince not as a moral guide, but as a practical handbook for survival in a world of treachery and ambition. His advice was so shockingly direct, so devoid of illusions, that his name became synonymous with cunning and manipulation. But his wisdom is timeless because human nature hasn't changed. The same games played in a Renaissance court are now played in your office, in your social circle, and even in your family. Let's dissect the first and perhaps most common tactic, the calculated facade of virtue. This is the art of appearing more moral, generous, and humble than you actually are. It's not about being a good person, it's about ensuring everyone thinks you are. A manipulator using this tactic will make very public displays of kindness. They'll loudly praise a colleague they secretly want to sideline. They'll donate to a charity and make sure the right people see it. Why? Because a reputation for virtue is a shield. When they finally make their move, a ruthless decision, a betrayal, people will say, "I can't believe it! He's such a good guy." There must be a misunderstanding. Their reputation deflects blame and buys them the benefit of the doubt. Think about the boss who talks endlessly about family and team spirit, but is the first to lay people off to protect his bonus. His words create an emotional buffer that softens the impact of his actions. How do you defend against this? Machiavelli taught us to ignore what people say and watch only what they do. Judge them by their results, not their proclaimed intentions. Observe how they treat people who have nothing to offer them. That is their true character. But this next tactic is even more insidious because it turns your own emotions against you. It's called manufacturing scarcity and urgency. Powerful people understand that when people feel rushed or fear missing out, their critical thinking shuts down. They make emotional decisions, which are almost always predictable and easy to control. Think about the limited time offer in sales. But this goes much deeper. In a negotiation, someone might say, "I have another offer on the table, and I need your decision by 5 p.m. Suddenly, you're not thinking about the best deal. You're afraid of losing the deal altogether. In a relationship, it might be the partner who subtly implies they have other options, making you feel insecure and more eager to please. A master manipulator creates a crisis out of thin air. They'll hint at a looming problem that only they can solve, forcing you to rely on them. To counter this, you must learn to master your own tempo. When you feel that rush of urgency, that panic of scarcity, stop, take a breath, ask yourself, is this deadline real or is it artificial? 9 times out of 10, it's a manufactured illusion designed to make you act against your own best interests. Give yourself permission to say, "I need more time to think." This simple phrase reclaims your power. Now we move from defense to a more strategic understanding of power. The principle is this: keep your intentions hidden. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. Never reveal the true purpose behind your actions until it's too late for anyone to stop you. If people know what you truly want, they can prepare defenses, they can obstruct you. But if you move without a clear pattern, if your stated goals are misdirection, you become unreadable and unpredictable." Consider the corporate world. An ambitious manager wants the top job. Does she announce her intention? Never. Instead, she might publicly support another candidate while quietly gathering allies and identifying her rival's weaknesses. She might volunteer for a difficult project that seems like a detour, but which she knows will give her the exact skills and visibility she needs. By the time her true ambition is clear, she has already checkmated the competition. The lesson is twofold. For your own goals, learn the power of ambiguity. For defending yourself, become a student of human patterns. When someone's actions don't align with their words, pay very close attention. They are revealing a hidden agenda, not through what they say, but through the inconsistencies in what they do. But here's where most people get played, because this next tactic feels like a gift. It's called creating dependence. The clever ruler, Machiavelli advised, should not make his subjects too independent. He should make them reliant on him for their security, their prosperity, their very sense of stability. The modern manipulator does the same. They offer you help, mentorship, and resources. They become indispensable. You start to rely on them for advice, for connections, for emotional support. It feels wonderful. It feels like they are your greatest ally. But a subtle chain is being forged. One day, you have an idea that conflicts with theirs. You want to make a move they don't approve of. Suddenly you hesitate. You realize how much you stand to lose. Their support might be withdrawn. Those connections might dry up. You have become a client, not a peer. The price of their help was your autonomy. To defend against this, always maintain your own sources of power. Accept help, but never become wholly dependent on a single source. Keep your own network. Develop your own skills. Diversify your suppliers of support, whether they are emotional, financial, or professional. Always have a plan B that doesn't involve your benefactor. This leads us to one of the darkest but most effective principles: use selective cruelty to establish respect. Machiavelli observed that it is safer to be feared than loved. Love is fickle and based on obligation, but fear is constant and rooted in the dread of consequences. Now, this doesn't mean being a tyrant. That's clumsy and breeds rebellion. Strategic cruelty is about making a calculated, decisive, and highly visible example of one person to control 100 others. Imagine a new manager takes over a lazy, undisciplined team. Does he yell at everyone? No, that just creates resentment. Instead, he identifies the most flagrantly non-compliant team member, the one who publicly challenges his authority. He fires them, quickly and professionally. The message is not for the person being fired, it's for everyone else watching. The message is, these are the new standards, this is the price of defiance. The rest of the team immediately falls in line. The one act of cruelty prevents 1,000 future conflicts. When you see this happen, understand it for what it is: a power play. It's a demonstration. It teaches you where the new boundaries are, and it warns you not to cross them. Recognizing this allows you to navigate the new power structure intelligently rather than reacting emotionally. The world is a stage, and power belongs to the best actors. Machiavelli understood that perception is reality. He urged the prince to appear religious, compassionate, and trustworthy, even if he was none of those things. The masses judge with their eyes, not with their minds. They are won over by the spectacle, by the appearance of things. This is the core of modern politics, branding, and social media. You are constantly being sold an image, a carefully constructed illusion. The key is to separate the appearance from the reality. The politician who kisses babies, the CEO who does a photo op on the factory floor, the influencer whose life looks perfect. These are all performances. The question you must ask is not, what am I seeing? But why are they showing this to me? What feeling are they trying to evoke? What action do they want me to take? When you start thinking like a director instead of an audience member, the spell is broken. You see the machinery behind the curtain, so let's bring it all together. You've learned to spot the facade of virtue, to resist manufactured urgency, to look for hidden intentions, to avoid dependency, and to understand the message behind selective cruelty. You are no longer watching the game from the stands. You are beginning to see the moves on the board. The world is a power game. Most people play it blind, guided by naive assumptions about fairness and human goodness. They get crushed, and they never know why. Machiavelli's gift to us was not a license for evil, but a pair of glasses to see the truth. The truth is that power has its own logic, its own grammar. Learning it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a realist. It makes you safe. It makes you effective. The real choice is not between being good or being Machiavellian. The real choice is between being a pawn and being a player. If you're ready to stop being a pawn, if you want to continue sharpening your mind and seeing the world with this level of clarity, then subscribe. Stay sharp and never stop learning the game.